Hey guys, welcome back to According To. I'm Megan.
And I'm Ciera. For this week's episode, we are diving back into the Am I Overreacting subreddit.
I love this one. I feel like a lot of it, mine especially, and I think yours are too, like a lot of it's very relationship related, and people kind of posting their relationship woes, which I love.
I love the drama.
I love the drama and sharing my opinions. So that's kind of what you can expect for today's episode. We've each got 6 different scenarios that we've got pulled up, and we will share our thoughts.
Before we get into the bulk of the episode and going through subreddit posts, we like to run through our weekly spotlights, catch you guys up on the past week, give some book updates, and just chat for a little bit. So, Megan, what is your weekly spotlight?
I have a life update. I now have a boyfriend, which is so weird because I haven't said anything on TikTok at all about this, which when I have been doing my dating stuff before, I've been posting stuff.
She went MIA. She went dark.
I did go dark. We've been consistently dating for like 6 weeks now, and so he just asked me over the weekend if we wanted to make it official, and so there's my update for you guys. What else happened this weekend? I ran my 5K. I was like something else. I was like there was something else I wanted to share with you guys.
When people are like, "How was your weekend? What'd you do?" I'm like, I literally don't know what I did.
No, same. I did my 5K and I ran it with Haley and then my brother-in-law Ashton, and went well. The weather, honestly, I was nervous it was going to be a little bit cold / like I wasn't sure if it was going to rain or not. It was chilly, but like I picked an outfit where it was fine. I actually thought the weather was quite ideal, and it was raining a little bit, but it was more so just misty, and it really didn't bother me at all. And my only goals were to be sub 40, which I was. I ran it in like 36 minutes. Although when I finished, my watch was not. I was trying to do my 5K also on my Nike Run Club app because that happened to be my long run for the week on my training program. So I was trying to do, 2 birds with 1 stone. Why I'm not running this twice. And it was a little bit short. So then I finished a little bit. I finished inside this building because it started in a rec center on like a track area. And then we go outside after like 3/4 of the lap. And then we came back in to finish it inside. And so then I just like ran past and like was running like in a green turf area in the midst of the
to get your
track
steps.
And like I obviously wasn't running like full speed ahead at that time.
You would look crazy.
So anyways, it was good. Ashton did really quite well with his 5K, even though he hasn't been training that much.
Would we expect anything
to be
less?
Expected? I think he ran his in like 26 minutes, and he's now signed up for a half marathon. It
only takes, one time. I feel like Ashton like gets like he does something once and he's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this.
And then Haley also had a good time. She finished shortly after I did, and my only other goal was to run the whole thing. I didn't want to stop and walk, which I did that as well. And then she has signed up for, because his half marathon, he signed up for like a St. Patty's half marathon.
Yeah, that's funny.
They also have a 5K one as well. And so Haley signed up for the 5K. I would probably I could see myself joining for the 5K. I wish they had a 10K option because that's what I feel like would be a good next
challenge.
step.
Yeah.
However, I'm kind of modifying my running plan. I'm going to try and continue running, but instead of the 5 days a week, I'm going to kind of modify and pick 3 of the runs from my weekly plan to do. Because it's got like
you should always do the long
3
run,
recovery
probably.
runs. No, I know. It's got 3 recovery runs this week. I'm just going to pick 1 and then do like a speed run. I'm going to pick 3 different runs.
That's what my running has been. I've been doing 1 speed run, 1 shorter like recovery slow run, and then a long run.
And so my plan is to continue with that. And if I do that, then by the end of my next 4 weeks or whatever of training, I'll have hopefully run a 10K. And then we'll kind of go from there. We'll see if I feel like continuing on a more consistent thing or if I want to tone it down at all. I'm not making any additional promises or stuff beyond that. Let me finish this 10K training plan, and then we'll see where I'm wanting to be at come March.
It's funny because you had texting all of you guys about like your run and stuff. When Haley texted saying that Ashton signed up for the half marathon, because that's the one that Andrew had done this year. And so I texted him that, and he's like, oh, well, I need to do the full marathon.
Okay.
So he hasn't signed up for anything. But he was actually going to aim to do a full marathon by the end of this year, but it didn't work out. So he wants to do one at some point. if it will be the St. Patty's one, I don't know. I will not be joining him on that journey. If I were to do another half marathon, I think I would like to do the Dam to DSM, because that was my initial plan. May, end of May, I think. So if I did,
any particular reason like that one versus any of the others?
I feel like it's just like when I think of like half marathons in Des Moines, like that's the one I've always thought of. That's the one that I initially wanted to do, but I was unable to do it since we had a wedding that day. And like, no complaints. I got it done like 3 weeks before, you know, that. So I got to be done training sooner. But I don't know. I wouldn't have to like think about actually starting to train until like 12 weeks out. So, but I've made no promises. Technically, I've only committed myself to one half marathon and I've already done it. So, but like I could see possibly.
I know. Haley, Ashton, and I finished the 5K and we were all like, this was good. Like, this was a good challenge and like we should do stuff like this more often. It was like that was the consensus.
More turkey trot.
we were kind of joking. We were like, we're going to become a turkey trot family.
That's funny.
So
it makes you feel good. It feels like you accomplished something.
So that's kind of,
and it is fun. Like
spotlights.
The fun thing about running, which like people who do like high rock stuff and like other fitness competitions, I feel like probably enjoy it for the same reason, where like you're training for a reason. That's what was kind of nice about half marathon training, was that it was pushing me,
the fruits of your
and
labor.
I had to like follow a plan and like commit myself to it, and it was like hard. That's part of the challenge. But then like obviously, you know, by the end of it, I did a half marathon and like that was cool. So we'll see. Running in
we're
summer
becoming runners.
Running in the summer is hard, because that's like, if you look at
I'm like, running in the winter I think is going to be hard. That's why I'm kind of like, we'll see what I can do in the next 4 weeks, but then like when we're in the depths of winter, I just don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. But like I think you might surprise yourself if it's like above 25-30 degrees and you bundle up. Like it's not bad, as long as it's not
snowy
slick
on the
out.
ground.
What's hard in my mind is like when it gets super hot and like you can only take so many layers off, and then like I'm just dying in the heat. So like I think looking at my running trends, it's like picking back up now, and then like May, granted I did take a few weeks off of running from like after the half marathon, so like that's also partly why, but it like dipped down in the peak of summer. So what did I do this weekend?
Else going on? It was kind of nice because, like I said, the half marathon was in Clear Lake, so it was just like a nice
half marathon.
Yes, I actually did a half marathon.
You know, it was so funny, you guys. I have to tell you, when we had talked about, well, you guys had talked about doing this 5K, Ashton's like, does it go around the lake? And I was like, how?
You know, it's funny that this 5K was nowhere near the lake.
No, but like I had to look at Ashton and say, what do you think the perimeter of Clear Lake is? Because it's certainly more than 3 miles. And we looked it up, and it's like 10 something miles. So they could easily do a half marathon course around Clear Lake.
Isn't that crazy? Like, do you feel like, I'm envisioning, obviously I wasn't running the half marathon, but I'm like, there's no way you could run around Clear Lake in like 2.5 hours.
Yeah. It seems like it would be harder mentally.
Here's the thing. Part of it, too, is, like, the perimeter of Clear Lake, like, there's not road directly along all of the perimeter.
Yeah, I don't know how, like, feasible that would be or not. But if I'm just thinking, like, running in a large loop versus the half marathon that I did was kind of nice. I felt like I could break it down into, like, different parts, because there's a lot of, like, out towards Principal Park, and then we came back towards the lake. And then it was, like, out around this, like, new loop of this neighborhood, and, like, back to Grace Lake. And then it was out. That last out, you know, when I slowed down, that was the hardest one. It was the longest one too. But it was nice to say, okay, just like 3-4 miles at a time was kind of how I was able to break it down. So if it was just a giant loop, that
might be a little
hard.
disheartening.
Yeah. But then I say that I'm pretty sure like the Dam to DSM is like kind of just like, you know, a straight line. Like you start at the dam and you run to downtown Des Moines. But like, that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
You know?
So eventually we run it together. Wouldn't that be crazy?
You could definitely train for a half marathon by that point if you wanted to.
I'm not making any promises at this point in time, but
it's just a floating idea.
We'll see. We'll circle back. Yeah.
We all run that.
Moving on to our...
We all run the Dam to DSM.
Well, there's no way he's doing a St. Patty's half marathon and then going and doing another half.
It's like a couple months apart.
Okay. Maybe he'll be dedicated to it. Moving on to our reading updates.
Haley will listen to this and she'll have to let us know.
Yeah.
Ashton's thoughts.
Give us an update. Maggie, if you're listening, she does not listen as regularly.
No.
Start your running journey.
Maggie would not run. Like, I think we'd have a better... I think Maggie's I don't think she can certainly work. That's what I would think.
Yeah.
Which we have some Pilates places near us. She should go try something.
She was briefly a Pilates girly, actually, in Cincinnati. She had a club Pilates membership.
Okay. Book updates. I think I have a couple updates for you guys. I finished reading... was it the book club book? Oh, My Friends by Frederick Bachman. I think that I had finished that after we last spoke. Gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Enjoyed it. Could see myself reading another Frederick Bachman book at some point, but like I'm not, chomping at the bit to get one read. And then I read via audiobook what was it? One of my nonfiction books. So I'm 2 out of 5 nonfiction books, and I've got lots of nonfiction books queued up, which I will share with you guys to try to get done by the end of this year. I remember. Stiff by Mary Roach was the book that I read. It's The Curious Lives of Human Cadavers, and it basically just like talks about all of the different ways that human cadavers are used for like scientific research, dives into some like the history of like, how cadaver donations came to be, and like the history of like grave robbing and things like that to like start scientific research in terms of like using human bodies and like learning about them. And then it like started diving into like cadavers or like cadaver body parts for like crash testing and like stuff for like safety, like based off of different like automobiles and plane stuff and whatever. So it was interesting. If you are someone who's like science minded and don't get like queasy with that kind of stuff, I think it would be an interesting read, especially like audiobook. It's kind of like a podcast is how I treat it, where you're just learning. So I finished that. I gave that 4 out of 5 stars, or otherwise I didn't rate it, because sometimes I don't rate nonfiction books. And my current read, which is like I'll go through my Libby reads, or my Libby holds. I'm currently reading or listening to Know My Name by Chanel Miller. I need to read this relatively quickly because it's due in 7 days, and I'm 4% of the way through. Then I have, I think, already borrowed, so I have them. I could listen to them whenever. The Color of Law, which I talked to you guys about, and Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. And if I finish all of those, that will be my 5 nonfiction books. That was my goal for this year. As far as fiction books, because you guys know I'm going to need some fiction books in here at some point, I'm planning on, I think, starting Sometimes I Lie, because I should just start our book club book.
I'm currently reading Sometimes I Lie, which is by Alice Feeney. I'm about a quarter of the way through it. I'm trying to hopefully kind of pick up the pace with my reading on this a little bit. And as of right now, I'm enjoying it. It's got a 3.75 average rating, but so far, like, I feel like well enough invested into it that like I am kind of like I can keep trucking.
Have you only read one other Alice Feeney book?
I don't actually technically know that I've read any of her
I've
books.
read Rock, Paper, Scissors. You didn't read that, did you?
You read that. I know I've obviously heard of her and her other books, but I think this is actually my first one, from what I can tell. So I'm excited to see what I think, and then I don't really know what I want to read from there. I honestly was kind of like, you know what? I'm shocked I haven't read Fearless by Lauren Roberts yet. There's many books, I guess, that I'm kind of like shocked I haven't read. We've also got our book club.
I read that book, right?
Poll. Yeah.
I'm like, did I finish the series?
Potentially The Night and the Moth is leading our poll right now.
Please.
So that could also be one that
I love when my personal picks
higher up.
are like win either our book club podcast book club pick or I'm some person book club pick, because then I get to just read the books I want to read.
So yeah, that's kind of all I've got going on for book updates. I'm not currently listening to an audiobook or double.
You know what book you should read at some point? Trevor Noah's biography.
Noted.
Okay. Any other updates, or shall we dive into
Let's do it.
some Reddit threads?
You start, I start.
You can go first. I need to pull my saved thing back up.
Okay. Am I overreacting to my boyfriend's friend seemingly taking advantage of him? My boyfriend, 30 male's friend, has been living downstairs of his house for 3 years now. He never pays rent on time. He'll go months without paying. He and his girlfriend, who was not supposed to be living here originally but moved in without telling my boyfriend, brought a dog home one day also without telling / asking my boyfriend, which is, it's not their house to just bring a dog to without asking if it's okay. So on top of him not paying rent for months at a time, his girlfriend moved in who's not paying rent. She basically just repeats what she just said here. Another issue is when we have clothes in the dryer, instead of waiting for us to take our clothes out, they will take our clothes out 10 minutes after they just got done drying and throw them in a pile on top of the table instead of putting them in a basket. They for some reason have 3 loads of laundry a day to do, so it's already a hassle to be able to even get our clothes washed when we need them washed because they constantly have clothes in the washer and dryer. They have their clothes hanging all over the laundry room, so basically they just act like it's their house and my boyfriend and I are the ones who live with them, not the other way around. There's just a lot of entitlement on their end, and I just can't seem to comprehend their mindset to thinking anything they do is okay. I've talked to my boyfriend multiple times about this because it really bothers me. I've explained to him that he is being fully taken advantage of, but I think he struggles with the fact that his friend would do that to him. So I just need to know, am I overreacting? My boyfriend doesn't seem to think any of it's a huge deal. The only thing he was upset about was them bringing a dog to the house without asking him. He says that paying rent isn't a huge deal because he gets paid no matter what, even if it is late. I just don't think they're ever going to get out of the house because they know they will have to pay on time when getting their own place, so they take full advantage of not having the responsibility of doing so here. They have no reason to get out. Wouldn't you want to get your own house/apartment and stop living with your friends by the age of 26, especially having a girlfriend and now a dog?
Okay. Are you overreacting? She doesn't live there, does she?
She's gonna make it sound like she does.
Okay. I mean, I'd say if you live there, then you are reacting fairly. If I lived there, I would certainly think that I'm being taken advantage of. If you don't live there, then I would say you can have your opinions, but it's kind of up to your boyfriend what he's willing to accept from a tenant. Right. I would I think you're fair to say you're accepting way too much and you're being a little bit of a pushover. Because the laundry thing is ridiculous. I think since your boyfriend is the homeowner or whatever, he pays rent or mortgage for whatever place they're living in, he needs to set some more strict ground rules. Even if they did start as friends, they're now roommates. So
I think that going off of what you said, your boyfriend being the landlord in this situation, it's up to him how much he wants to be a pushover. If this stuff, he obviously doesn't seem all that bothered by what's going on. So given that even if you do live there, you can be bothered, but you have not as much say as in terms of, what the expectations are around the home. But I do think even with not it being a landlord renter situation, you're all collectively seemingly roommates. And so in that regard, I do think it's a fair topic of conversation to be hey, do you guys think we can have a little meeting to just discuss some ground rules to better cohabitate together? And then, you at the end there are kind of saying why is this guy still living here? If that's something that's bothering you more, that's probably something to bring up with your boyfriend first.
Yeah, because some people do have indefinite roommates, and I think 26 is crazy old.
And also your boyfriend's having the advantage of getting a rent paycheck paid to him without probably
even if not timely
too many strings attached, so in that regard he probably is it's not that big of a deal and I'm getting a check
income
every month or close enough.
So are you overreacting? I would say no, but I think that you just need to help temper expectations and have a group discussion so hopefully everyone can get on the same page. Am I overreacting for being mad that my husband canceled my birthday dinner to help his sister move? I, 32 female, had my birthday last weekend. Nothing huge. I just booked a table for 6 at a nice mid-priced place and invited 2 of our friends. I told my husband, 34 male, about it 3 weeks ago. He said cool. He even chose the restaurant. On the day of, around 2 p.m., his sister called saying her move got messed up and she needed help carrying boxes because the movers left early. He told her, yeah, I'll come, without even checking with me. Then he came to me and said, hey, I have to go help. We can move dinner to another day, right? I said, no, I already booked. People are coming. I got ready. He said I was being selfish because family emergencies happen. I ended up going to the dinner with just our friends and had to explain why my own husband wasn't there. I was smiling, but I felt so stupid. His sister is fine. She had her boyfriend and 2 cousins helping. It was not like she was stranded on the street. When he came home, he acted like I should understand because, quote, that's my sister. I told him he made me feel like I was second priority on my own birthday. He said I'm overreacting because it's just a date and we can celebrate any day. So am I overreacting for being this upset over it and not wanting to reschedule anything now?
Why is he acting like his sister like needed help immediately? Kind of my first thought. Like, I'm all for providing a helping hand and like going and helping out when you're called upon, but like she had other people, and I just can't imagine a situation in which like she's like not able to like make it through the evening.
Like,
till
do you know how many
tomorrow.
people move into like a house or an apartment and they just eat pizza on the floor because like
Right.
they just have stuff out? Like, I would say obviously she clarified the situation well enough where it sounds like she had extra helping hands to at least like get things in a place where they could remain for the night.
And then just kind of in regards to like the dinner situation, like I agree on a multitude of things of like this required a reservation, stuff in advance. It was planned in advance. It was for a special occasion. Like, that's not just something you like decide we're actually not going to do this just like day of, especially
like,
in like a non-emergent situation. Like the sister moving, that's not an emergency. So
like, unless you were leaving out a huge detail, like she could have been fine with like the boxes being stored in the garage or like the living room or just wherever with, you know, the 3 people it seems like she had helping still anyways.
and then he could have come and helped out tomorrow.
Yeah. And like, it sounds like it was on her actual birthday. So it's like, regardless if you had like a dinner reservation or like anything, I would imagine like my expectation would be like, we're doing something for my birthday and you'll be a part of it because you're my husband. So I understand the frustration. I would say that you're not overreacting.
I would agree. Okay. My next one is, am I overreacting? My best friend no longer wants me as his best man in his wedding because I am gay. This is a text conversation. All right, so this is, the first text is the groom. Hey man, are you free sometime today to chat? I have something I want to discuss with you whenever you have time. This is the poster responding. Yeah, I'm actually free right now until about 3 today. Is everything okay? Need me to call? And not really. No, it's okay. I am actually not able to call. I'll just text it to you if that's cool. No biggie. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't an emergency. Go for it. Okay. So I know my wedding is coming up in a few months, and I know I already asked you to be my best man, but I think I'm going to have to ask you to no longer stand up there with me. Oh? Well, that is unexpected. What happened? Did I do something wrong? No, man, you did nothing wrong. I was talking to, and then it's redacted, last night, and she said that it would be a bad look if her husband's best man who was standing next to him on his wedding day was a gay man. I guess her parents have been asking a lot of questions, and she would just rather not deal with it. Dude, what? That is bizarre. We have been best friends since we were in elementary, and suddenly me being gay is an issue? So if I'm not sitting up there as your best man, what now? You being gay isn't the issue, dude. It's the large amount of questions my wife and I are getting because of you being gay. You'd be in the audience with everyone else. So not even a groomsman at all, just straight up in the audience now, huh? And you have nothing to say to that? Is that not wild to you? Honestly, it sucks, but it is what it is. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Right, okay, sure. Well, get to know where you stand and how you view your best friend. Look, the last thing I need is for people to assume that we have a history. Quit crying about it. It's my wedding day and my choice. I get it, and you're right. You have every right to make that decision. I was just expecting you to be a real friend and handle this better, but that clearly is not the road you want to travel down. Go ahead and just mark me off the invite list.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
No, I was like, this is insane. So basically,
what an awful friend.
This person was saying, am I overreacting here? Should I still attend? This is frustrating. I don't know what to do. I think that his supposed best friend handled that situation absolutely horribly, and I think he did a huge disservice that may end up costing him his friendship to his best friend by not sticking up for him when he had every chance and opportunity to do so, and is instead choosing to just like take the easy way out, I guess.
That's
and
also
not stand
so
up for his
crazy
friend.
that he's saying like, oh, we're just taking so much heat. And it's like, maybe like say, who is the problem here? Is it my best friend who has done nothing wrong? Or is it like my wife's family is being too nosy or judgmental? Like the thing, you know, I don't want you to assume we have a history.
The groom's response too is just not good.
Like you have clearly hurt your friend who was probably looking forward to like standing up next to you on your big day. And he's not even just like up there at all. He's not part of the wedding. I mean, I would say there's no way you overreacted. That is
everyone in the comments is also agreeing. A lot of people, well, someone says, I tell him to kick rocks. Your relationship is only going to get more awkward down the road. He made his choice, and you unfortunately have a difficult one to make as well.
Y'all need to get together sometime and have a chat. The fact that he like didn't even call him to talk about it and like it's all over text that we can read,
yeah,
is insane. He's like, nah, man, I'll just text if that's okay. What? The second I would have gotten that text, I'd have called him and like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one I have, am I overreacting? Boyfriend gets girl's Instagram in front of me.
I can't wait to hear this.
I have been dating this guy who follows 1 million OnlyFans models.
Oh my god. Why are we dating him?
And exes, which I've already said makes me uncomfortable. He doesn't care. I drove him.
Pause. Why are we dating this man?
I'm sure we'll get to some fun comments at the bottom. I drove him to work the other day. Sorry, I have to yawn.
Resume.
He works at a tattoo shop. And stepped outside a minute to talk to my family on the phone. A few minutes into this, I turn around and see a girl standing near him. Both of them have their phones out and are talking. I go inside with an earbud still in. It was an important family thing on the phone, and I couldn't just hang up. And come up to them, making my presence known. I'm right in front of them. Neither of them look up to acknowledge me, even though I'm staring at them. They're clearly exchanging socials. I expect the conversation to end quickly now that I'm here, but they legit stand there talking for another minute or two. I can see the girl avoiding looking at me because I'm staring at her now. By the way, they're speaking in Spanish, so I can't understand what they're saying. The girl turns away in the opposite direction to where she doesn't even make eye contact as she walks off. No hi, no introduction, nothing. I'm dumbfounded and ask my boyfriend, who was that, and what are you doing? He says she's a coworker. I was getting her Instagram. Look how good her work is. Isn't it amazing? She's just been tattooing for a year. So it's a work Instagram, at least. I'm so nauseated with him and with her for treating me this way. He says he understands now why I'm upset, and he didn't intend to make me feel that way by just dissing me in front of her. I said that they were both incredibly rude, just acting like I wasn't there, carrying on in a language I didn't understand. And she approached him, not while I was beside him, but after I stepped out of the building, and then just acted like I wasn't there. And he didn't claim me in front of her, so I think it sucks because I'm also an artist and we've been together a year. It would have been so easy to alleviate that moment and introduce me. Anyway, that's kind of the gist of it.
I'm honestly less concerned about the Instagram thing, given that like I don't think it's the strangest thing for like a tattoo artist to like follow other tattoo artists' Instagram accounts. If that's clear what it was. Obviously, like, yes, there's more to the situation with like you being there and blah blah blah. I am still hung up on. Let's go back to the very first sentence or two of this paragraph. I am so against being with a man that's going to follow a bunch of IG models, OnlyFans people. Like, that for me personally is more of the red flag and extremely embarrassing for him. But then, like, I would not put up with that if I was you. So I would still say break up with this man.
Yeah.
But not because of the IG.
In the same boat. I would say, like, your insecurities, like, related to him talking to her are stemmed from the fact that he follows all those OnlyFans.
So, like, maybe you're overreacting in this, like, instance, but, like, in regards to the relationship, I do not feel like you're overreacting.
Yeah.
And I would love to see some comments on this.
Let me pull some up. Someone said he's paying for OnlyFans too. This isn't going to end well. Cut your losses and move on. Someone said not overreacting. He clearly does not give one single F about how you feel. In fact, I would put money on him talking to other women. Respect yourself. You only get one life. Don't waste your time with loser. Someone said I think you might need to leave, to be honest. So,
okay. This was another crazy one. Most of the time, people are not overreacting in these. Am I overreacting if I file for divorce? It's another text thread. Okay. So this is starting with the original poster, and this is the wife in the situation. Your behavior has been off for a while, and I want your words to match your actions. I've always wanted that. I've asked you for this repeatedly. You would want the same. This is him. I don't think we should have gotten married. I know you think that. The way things have been, I don't disagree. You've made it perfectly clear you'll fight for yourself, you'll fight to win, but I've never seen you fight for us. You don't disagree. Your expectations of me are too high. I told you I'm going to change and you won't give me any time. 10 years. I had no idea that meant I didn't give you any time. Weird. My expectations are the bare minimum, and they're too high, so you won't have a problem eating maybe once a week then, since the bare minimum is all that's needed. I don't really understand. This must be like a reference to something I've talked about before. That's ridiculous and not the same at all. Food is needed for survival.
He needs sustenance to survive.
This was the craziest text. This is from him. I wanted you to take care of me. I didn't know I'd have to take care of you. I'm trying to change that mindset.
Okay.
Sorry, my vision's getting blurry and I need my glasses on.
What a strange text to send.
She said, not being manipulated, gaslighted, used as a maid, and a heck of a lot more needed for the longevity of a marriage. No, you're not. You talk a good game, but behavior is the only language I am listening to now. I am trying to change, but it's not easy. I think it's weird to be married to one woman for the rest of my life. This is actually crazier. This is me saying that. I forgot this was part of the text thread. What I really want, the trophy wife, physically and spiritually, the validation they would get from the public at having such a beautiful and great wife. While yes, you are attractive, you're not a supermodel. It's hard to be with someone who isn't as good looking as I am.
Oh my God.
I think about it often. My life would be a lot easier if I was married to someone as good looking as I am. She just sent 4 dots. I know I keep hurting you and I'm sorry. You feel hurt, but what else should I say? That's him. I know I keep hurting you and I'm sorry you feel hurt, but what else should I say? And she says, the truth. At least you finally gave me the courtesy of having your words match your actions. At least I can move on and move forward with what's true. Move on. Are you leaving me?
You're appalled that might be coming up?
In her little like readout or like kind of specific thing, no.
Might as well just cut your losses
so
while you're at it.
She said, I have felt the desire to file for divorce for quite some time, but after finally learning about how my husband really feels about me, I want to contact a divorce lawyer and file the paperwork soon. He's been abusive in multiple ways since we met. I've been going to therapy and learned I have a trauma bond with this man, blah, blah, blah.
Well, girl, I'm sorry. There's no way you can get out of it besides divorce. Like, this is not... You've hit your point. You've probably hit past your point. I say go for it. You're reacting exactly as you should.
Crazy comments. Like, so embarrassing. Not for you. It's embarrassing for him. I've been trying to reframe how I phrase things because I actually should give credit to this girl on TikTok, but I can't remember her name. And she made a whole post where she kind of was going off and like, it's always like, even when a man is embarrassing or not doing enough, we always kind of like reframe it as like, why did the woman pick this man? Like, that's embarrassing for her. And we really should probably just be like, no, like the man is embarrassing and like it's on him. His shortcomings are a reflection of himself and not, you know, whatever partner he is with. So I'm trying to kind of be mindful of
trying to be a girl's girl
in this episode. But I am also kind of trying to say,
we're trying to encourage
you should
women.
Not put up with this. Yeah.
Any crazy comments from that? I would assume everyone would tell her she needs
not
to
overreact. Not overreacting. Definitely divorce. Move on. Are you leaving me? Original poster. Please leave him. He is such a loser. Oh my God. Okay.
Am I overreacting for canceling Thanksgiving at my house after my dad brought his new girlfriend without telling me? I, 34 female, was hosting Thanksgiving for my family this year, first time ever. My parents are divorced, and my mom and dad do not get along, so I made it clear to both of them that it would be a, quote, neutral ground dinner. My dad said he'd come alone. Instead, he showed up with his new girlfriend, who just happens to be my mom's former best friend.
Ooh.
The tension was instant. My mom looked like she'd seen a ghost. I pulled my dad aside and asked why he would do that, and he said, I didn't think it'd be a big deal. It's been years. After 10 minutes of awkward silence at the table, I told everyone I couldn't do this, packed up the food, and told my dad to leave. The dinner fell apart after that. Now my dad's furious, saying I ruined Thanksgiving and made a scene. My mom says I did the right thing. I just feel awful. Am I overreacting for canceling dinner on the spot?
I obviously wasn't there. I feel like she should have asked her dad and the girlfriend to leave, and then, if able, continue on with Thanksgiving dinner. But yeah, that's an interesting situation.
Yeah. I don't think that it's the fact that like awkward silence that you're like, I can't do this, and not like a fight that broke out that like would make sense to then like dispel everyone. So that's kind of funny. I don't think that I would have canceled. I do think I would have been like, hey, like, this is awkward. You need to leave, since we had already agreed what the scenario would be. I would be curious to know your guys' family situation as to like why you had to do a combined Thanksgiving in the first place.
Like, the tension probably would have, like, whether or not the girlfriend was there, like, don't you think the tension would have been
like,
there
as someone
regardless?
who comes from divorced parents, aside from like Haley's children's birthdays and events, and then like sometimes like our events, like, our parents don't hang out. Like, they're fine if they do hang out, but like they don't, because why would they? So holidays are separate. You know, Christmas, Thanksgiving, we bebop around to different locations because that's just what makes sense. So my future recommendation would say maybe your parents host something and you attend both of their events.
Yeah. It's tough with divorced parents, but like, intermixing is probably not going to be the solution to that. Yeah. It just sucks that he like already agreed that he wouldn't bring anyone too. If that's at least like, if you had all kind of like mentally prepared, like, and were ready to go that route. But yeah, different situation. When
I would be curious to know if you all knew that he was dating the former best friend, or if like she showed up and your guys were
gosh, I have to
you're
assume,
together.
I have to assume they knew. That'd be crazy if not. Okay. Am I overreacting by how I responded? My boyfriend is upset with me for skipping my workout routine today. Another text thread. This is from the boyfriend. Okay. Morning, beautiful. Don't forget that shake. It's going to help you a lot. Trust.
Break up with this man.
Okay. Thanks, babe. I don't think I feel like moving around too much today. I'll probably take a walk tonight if I feel better. And then she sent a meme saying everything hurts and I'm dying. LOL, really? You shouldn't have morning sickness anymore. If that's the case, then we need to get that checked.
Is she pregnant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then she said, I'm still sore, okay? And, I didn't sleep well last night. And yeah, I don't think I'm keeping that shakedown anyways. I don't want to deal with this right now. Look, I know things aren't ideal right now, but we haven't gotten to the hard part yet, and you're already giving up. Just putting it out there, I'm concerned. And then this is still him.
What's the hard part?
The later part of pregnancy. I don't freaking
And you
know.
are going...
No, I know.
We are experiencing
I'm
this?
like, and we haven't gotten to the hard part yet? Okay. This is still him. At least try to stretch and I'll come rub you down on my break. Okay. Then she said, I'm giving up because I don't feel like working out today. Yeah, I already see how today is going to go, so please stop talking to me. Then she responded...
The guy said that?
No, she said that. And then she responded back specifically to like that. I'll come rub you down on my break. She said, no, I don't want that. What do you want then? I'm trying to help you out and be accommodating, and all I get is tantrums from you. What have you done for me? Bet you can't even remember because I sure don't. And then she says, just stop. Like, I get you're trying to help, but certain things like this make me feel worse. This is him again. That's cool. You're better off not playing the victim role and feeling sorry for yourself because you know that's my biggest pet peeve. Then she said, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You're so inconsiderate. It's insane. Like, do you even hear yourself sometimes? And he says, LOL, here comes the gaslighting. We're arguing because I'm trying to help you. I swear you're toxic and this gets depressing. Then she just said, whatever.
Okay. This is obviously hard to pinpoint, not knowing like these people's exact personalities, history of like behaviors,
ages,
whatever. So, taking all that into consideration, I don't think she's overreacting, but I don't think she's like, I think they're both reacting annoyed. Like, I think it's a fair interaction to possibly alleviate some of the annoyedness you guys feel with one another. Let's look at some positives. He started off like he went into this conversation with positive vibes and positive thoughts. Like, he was trying to do something nice for you. He made you a shake or whatever. Like, you know, tried to set you off on the right foot. Mm-hmm. And then obviously you weren't feeling well for whatever reason, and said that you were like not going to,
like, you're giving up already,
go through the workout. So I don't know if this is a conversation you guys have had in the past where like maybe you've talked about like your goals for pregnancy and like what fitness level you hope to maintain, and like he's trying to encourage you to do that.
But he's not doing a very good job of the words he's using and how he's trying to assist you.
So I think you guys need to go back to the drawing board and figure out like what, while you're pregnant, what are your expectations for what you hope to do, and how much do you want your partner to like motivate you and encourage you to achieve those things. Because sometimes it's like hard to hold yourself accountable.
I think what's hard is during pregnancy, like before you've experienced it, like you probably do have a lot of these expectations, but like you don't know what you don't know. And then also every pregnancy is different than the other one. And that's something that a man's never going to understand or experience. And so, you know, the motivation might seem like a good idea on the outside, you know, like for any other circumstance when you're not pregnant, that might be like a tough love approach, could be potentially something people find helpful. But I just don't feel like with pregnancy that you can really have any say unless you're the one who's pregnant.
Yeah. And again, we don't know like your history of like, is this your first workout you haven't done since being pregnant? And it's like, okay, chill. Or is it like, you know, you're X many weeks in, you said you wanted to work out this many times a week and you've like pushed off like all of them. And he's like, babe, you said you wanted to be consistent. I'm trying to help you. And like, you know, we don't know. So unfortunately, giving you the best with what we can. But I would say both of you are,
I think both of you could probably work on the
this is manageable, you know,
skills a little bit.
This is just both of you are annoyed with one another. You need to regroup and come back. Am I overreacting? My boyfriend refuses to ignore his quote-unquote work wife. My boyfriend, I, and the work wife work together.
Oh, so you can't be
crazy.
his work wife. That's interesting.
We both agreed we wouldn't share our relationship when we started dating because of the fact that we work together. Okay, so people don't know they're dating. However, it's been well over a year at this point. We are even living together. This girl knows that we're together. However, she keeps going to his desk multiple times a day to talk. She goes to wherever he goes for lunch every day, and she picks him up to leave together. We all take public transportation. I have brought up the fact that
not leave with him?
I don't know.
What?
I have brought up the fact that this bothers me to him multiple times, and I have offered solutions as well, such as me kindly mentioning our plans together on the weekends during casual conversations. He ignores it until it comes up again. There was this time when I only found out that my boyfriend was at the office because I saw them heading out together. He texted me 30 seconds before, which to me is the same thing as nothing because we couldn't have. Why couldn't he have texted me on the way to the office or as soon as he got here? Anyways, last week I exploded because I'm heading out and I see them leaving together yet again. My boyfriend got very frustrated and told me to just deal with it. This isn't high school and that he'll be leaving for a new job soon, hopefully, which isn't even confirmed, by the way. The way I see it, he's not addressing the problem or putting a stop to it, just ignoring it, and it feels extremely dismissive. Today he came to get me so I'd go to lunch with him, or so I'd go to lunch with them. WTF, how dare he? I don't understand why he can't just say no to her. He's apparently afraid that she'll complain to HR about something. I don't know. I'm literally about to break up with him over this.
I feel like based off of everything that you've provided and only going off of what you've said, he's being very dismissive of your feelings, and that in itself is more where my concern lies.
I would literally be like, why are you dating her?
Yeah.
Like, you clearly like hanging out with her more than me. So what do I have to offer? Let me just get out of the picture for you guys, and you guys may get into a relationship.
Flourish.
Like, the fact that, I don't know, you said you'd take public transportation, so I would have to assume you guys, like, must leave for the office at different times, maybe. But the fact that he can come to work and, like, not even text you, see you, acknowledge you and then like leave and you're like, oh, you were here and you're leaving with her? That's crazy.
Just weird behavior.
Let's see what some of the responses say. Someone said, why would he be afraid she'd complain to HR? There's something
that was
missing.
also a weird note. Does she have blackmail on this man?
Why is she the work wife when you all work together? That was our question. Someone said, it sounds like you are in fact the side chick.
Okay. My next one. Am I overreacting for losing my mind over this note I found in my fiance's pocket? There's a photo of said note. It says, I normally don't do this, but you've been staring. And that's, I'm guessing, a number, but it's crossed out, is my interpretation. And I think it said that too. Me, 29 female, and my fiance, 30 male, have been together for 3 years. Yesterday, he was out with his friends and came home a bit late, and we argued about that too. Tonight, we went out with our friend group, and it was a bit cold, so he gave me his jacket. I went to the bathroom and found the snow in his jacket's pocket. I confronted him about it, and he said it was nothing. He told me he found the note under his coffee cup the night before and didn't even call the number. He said I could check his call history if I didn't believe him, and I did. Yes, he didn't call the number, but why did he keep the note in his pocket? Am I overreacting for confronting him about this?
So we're presuming like a woman left
Yes.
her number with him.
Yes.
And it's crossed out. So like he crossed out? Or no, she
like
crossed
she
it out.
just
Okay.
crossed it out to post it.
My only thought that gives him the benefit of the doubt would be like maybe it just made him feel good. Of like, oh, someone like, you know, is hitting on me. And like I'm not gonna follow up on this, but like, you know, here's proof that someone like saw me out and about and like thought I looked attractive or something. So that's like my only benefit to him. I don't think you're overreacting. I think it's a fair reaction to have because I'd also be concerned.
I think there were a couple comments that kind of swayed my opinion on this a little bit. So someone said, I told my wife immediately when I got home if this happened to me, but my wife isn't going to start an argument if I, quote unquote, got home a bit late. I would definitely be a lot less likely to share this detail if we'd argued as soon as I got home. Something I meant to share as a funny detail of my night to share would seem like a trigger for another round of fighting instead.
Mm. Did she say that she had gotten mad at him for getting home late?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then someone said, I got a note like this a year ago. It's pinned to our fridge. My wife thinks it's hilarious. Which kind of goes off of what you were saying with
the
ego thing. I don't know if I'd hang it on the fridge, but whatever.
I'd be like, haha.
And then like there's the possibility that like he put it in his pocket with the intention of throwing it away later and
like some people just
about it.
Pick up scraps at the table, put it in a pocket. So I would say I don't think you'd need to like look into this too much. But I also don't think you're overreacting personally.
I think ideally it's like I can understand being a little bit upset that like he didn't maybe like just bring it up and tell you on his own, and then you're just finding after the fact. Like you would just, it's human nature to be a little bit
like
cautious or jealous
misled.
or just like you gotta make sure you're not having the rug pulled out from underneath of you.
Okay. Am I overreacting? My 25 female boyfriend, 24 male, is constantly offended by tiny things and it's driving me crazy. My boyfriend and I have been together for going on 3 years. We just moved in together a few months ago. I've always known he was sensitive and easily upset by things, but recently it's been so frequent and it's driving me crazy. I don't know if I'm just rude or insensitive or if he is overreacting. Here are some examples of things he has started fights over. Number 1. His mom's birthday is coming up and he hasn't made plans for it yet. I have plans for Saturday night that weekend, so I asked him if they had decided on anything yet, because I could do Friday night or Saturday brunch or lunch. Just let me know. I mistakenly said the phrase, yeah, I'm free anytime other than blank, so let me know because I'm happy to go if you guys want me there. This completely set him off. He said the phrase, if you want me there, wasn't okay, and that it made him feel like I don't like his family or that I don't care about his mom's birthday. It turned into a whole fight and ruined our night. I felt like I was being normal, but to him, it was highly offensive. Do you want to take these one at a time?
Sure. I have no issue with what she said.
Me neither. It is, like, there are certain times where I could see, like, that type of phrasing being annoying, but, like, it's a birthday party. Like, no one cares. Another time recently, we were going to a new coffee shop and the parking was metered, so we had to pay. He started getting super upset and said it was effing stupid and ridiculous. We had to pay $2 to park. I said, it's okay, I'll pay for it. As I was putting my card in the meter, he was still ranting about how dumb it is. And I said, hey, it's okay, I'll pay, I don't mind. I'm excited to try this place, so it's all good. I just want to have a good morning. Which again, completely set him off. He said me saying I want to have a good morning was not okay and that he can't voice his opinions without me shutting him down. And that if he wants to be angry at the parking, I should let him and stop speaking to him so poorly.
If he wants to be angry and upset all the time, like, that's fine. That's his prerogative. But, like, I don't know if I'd be there. I don't know if I could be there with him.
And last example.
There are some people that, like, just quite frankly, like,
want to be the victim and, like, want to be upset. And I'm like, oh, my God. I love to complain as much as the next person. But the world is not happening to us. You know, let's relax and realize the world is not out to get you. Last example. He was talking about his friend who recently called off an engagement and was saying his friend is stupid for doing that. He was going on and on about it, how it was a mistake, and this guy is being an idiot. I mistakenly agreed with him, which I guess I shouldn't have, but I said, yeah, it sounds like he's being dumb, and he started backpedaling and said, well, that's my friend, and got mad at me for speaking poorly about his friend.
What?
And she ended up by saying, I think I just feel like I'm walking on eggshells and I'm starting to feel like I need to keep track of a list of phrases I can't say to avoid offending him, except the list is never ending and no matter what, he'll find something new. I initially went from feeling guilty to now being so frustrated every time this happens. I had previously just apologized for upsetting him, but I've started to defend myself more and the fights are getting worse or last for much longer. Am I overreacting? No.
I don't think so.
And this is like maybe you're just now realizing that you two are not compatible in the long run. Like Megan said, he's free to complain about whatever he wishes. But if you guys are like not aligned in like your complaining ratio, then like you probably don't want to be around for it.
Yeah. That's kind of
You need someone to like give in to like, yes, let's complain together. Let's be annoyed about this. And you clearly don't want to do that.
I don't really like my last one. So unless
that's fine.
Like
we're coming up on probably the end of our time here. Anyways, so we will call that good for this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you want to share your own thoughts on any of the subreddits that we talked about, you can comment on the YouTube video if you're watching, or if you're just listening via audio, we have our Instagram. You can comment on the episode post.
Make sure you guys reach out to us if you have any specific episode ideas you want us to discuss, talk about, anything of that sort. We'd love to have some audience feedback.
And with that, we will talk to you guys next Thursday.
Bye.